Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Pastor Lance Smith from Zwingli UCC in Monticello, and this is a midweek devotional. We're down here by the Little Sugar River today looking around, and I saw some things down here that were pretty interesting, so I thought I'd bring us down here for the devotional. Our text today is Matthew 13, verse 3b through 8. And he told them many things in parables, saying, Listen, the sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seeds fell on the path, and the birds came and ate them up. The other seeds fell on rocky ground, where they did not have much soil, and they sprang up quickly. And since they had no depth of soil, but when the sun rose, they were scorched. And since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among the thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on the ground, fell on good soil, and brought forth grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. You know, as I was walking down here the other day, I noticed something. Come on down, let's look at it. I noticed something that looked like tomatoes. I couldn't believe down here in the woods, there's tomato plants. And at first I thought, what in the world could grow that looked like tomato plants? And I saw this whole big old leggy tomato plant here. It had to be leggy to get out to where it could get some sun. Looks like it's one of those sauce tomatoes. But down here it's got a bunch of tomatoes on it. Down here in the woods. It's pretty impressive, huh? I wondered, wondered about that text. Immediately my brain went to that text, and I started thinking about all the stuff. And when I first saw it, I couldn't quite figure out what it was. My mind was going through all the stuff I've got cataloged in there. Now, what could that be? What could that be? And finally I said, that's a tomato. Now, how in the world could this get here? After I figured out what they were and saw those old green tomatoes on it, I thought, how in the world, how did that seed get down here that grew this plant? And what are the odds that that one seed would make that plant? And all this brush and all this junk. Plants are some of the most amazing beings on this planet. As they drink in the carbon from the atmosphere, they're key to controlling our atmosphere and making the temperature just right on this planet. They're also the basis for our food. We either eat plants or we eat something that eats plants. I'm sure you all know that. They breathe in what we breathe out, and more importantly, we breathe in what they breathe out. It's a pretty good deal. Filtered oxygen, made just from those plants. Such amazing beings. But for me, what's most impressive, what the business of how they reproduce that boggles my mind. One would think that these plants couldn't move, yet things like my friend here seem to happen every day. I guess birds eat fruits, and they carry the seed far from the parent plant and carelessly plant them with a little bit of fertilizer. Those beggars, ticks, and burrs that we get this time of year, and thistles that latch on to all us animal types. Anything is walking by and travel far from the point they began. Winds pick up the seeds of the milkweeds and the dandelions and send them far, far away from the mother plant. Sometimes when I'm sitting out in my backyard, I laugh when I see the squirrels carrying acorns over here and planting them in the ground for later. Acorns and walnuts. They take them far from the mother tree. I see thousands of pounds of farm equipment here lately, harvesting these seeds as well, and working into the night, gathering seed that's taken far from its point of origin. Perhaps that might be next year's seed. Seeds are an amazing thing. They just seem to pass by us unnoticed most of the time. In their little world, while we deal with more important things, Well, I guess they're important. At least they're important to us. Today I think about this parable of the sower with Matthew 13. Jesus tells us that the sower and all the perils that befall on the seed, he's using it in a certain way, and only certain ones produce. I think the farmer knows knows well that he must seed heavily. He also knows that each and every one of them, one of those seeds, is a seed of hope, a chance for success. That text you just heard in the King James Version, if it was in the King James Version, talks about how the seeds are finding purchase. I love that word purchase, because as if there's some sense of investment in it. A chance at hope by the farmer that his seed will grow. Makes me think about all the things that we're spreading and all the seeds that we're giving out. May our deeds flow from us each and every day. May our words be spoken with love and care. May we plant seeds with wild abandon, seeds of love. And may we see some of our efforts flourish and have understanding that some may just bloom over in the weeds, over in the rough. May we plant love with the hopes of a great harvest. Amen.